Look guys, you see here. So I have a situation. I went to World Tier 3 by beating Capstone Dungeon. I had a hard time but was able to beat it, and I was able to get my ass on World Tier 3. When I got there, I thought to myself I should upgrade my gear so as to give myself an easier time. So I noticed that one of the first thing I needed to do was get a malignant heart for one of my rings, which didn't have one. So I opened my map and looked for a malignant tunnel that was close to an already activated waypoint. So I found one and I went to it, not immediately realizing that I was walking into a dungeon that was 11 levels higher than me because I was only level 44 and the dungeon was level 55. But anyway, I went through with it, and by God's grace, I was able to beat it. So far, so good. But when I got my gear, my loot, I found out that I could not use any of the gear because all of them were or had a level requirement that is one or two or three levels higher than I was. So my first point is after going through all of that effort, I was not able to get anything that I could immediately use. It did not feel fun, it did not feel satisfying, and sure as hell did not feel rewarding. So you might say, so what's the big deal, Nizzy? Just go farm some experience. Okay, I'm with you. But if I'm gonna do that, I want to do that in the area I'm already at. Because that's the whole point of me busting my ass to get there. But if I did that, as I told you, I was only barely able to beat the dungeon since it was 11 levels higher than me. So if I did it there, it's gonna take too long. I have to go to another place with lower level monsters just to be able to level up in a reasonable amount of time. But if I did that, I would be backtracking because I was already in a higher tier area. Also, it feels like I have to do additional work just to enjoy the fruits of an earlier work. It's like saying you're getting charged twice for the same purchase. Again, it does not feel good, satisfying, or rewarding. Third point, you might say, so maybe Nizzy, the problem is with your build. Okay, uh, well. Just so you know, I deliberately chose off meta builds because I want to try something new. So I'm okay with the idea that they're not the strongest. But if that's the perception, then don't they need to upgrade more? Then, so shouldn't they then have more chance to get upgrades since they need it more, since they're perceived to be not as strong as the others? I mean, they still beat the content, right? So the build should get something out of it. The player should still get a thing or two out of it. I'm open to the idea of not being able to use everything that you get because that's the nature of random generation. You will really get gear that would have a higher level requirement than what you have, but I should still be able to get an upgrade or two, right? Especially since it's perceived that my build is not that strong, thus it needs upgrades more. So I think Blizzard needs to tweak their looting system. This thing should not happen. This scenario should not exist. Furthermore, the reason I think most people do not notice this is because during those levels they are usually boosted, and when you are boosted, you do not mind getting gear that requires a higher level than you are because by the time you are done with your boosting, you would have already attained that level. So, those are my thoughts. What are your thoughts? Please put them down in the comments below. And if you're still here, thank you guys for stopping by. And as always, see you guys on the next one. By the way, guys, I'm aware that for you who are playing mostly in groups or who are getting boosted or who are using builds that are so OP that they can handle content that are 50 to 20 levels higher than them, that this would not be a problem, that this would not even probably exist. But if you're not in one of those categories and you're playing mostly alone and leveling up in the old fashioned way, straight up, and trying to get to world tier 3 and 4 in the as early as possible, then this is potentially going to be a big problem for you and should be addressed, and thus should be addressed. So that's it. Thank you guys again. Peace.